Stepping up to the competition. Only first place, yeah, that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave. Eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate. All in when I show up. Whole place about to blow up. Superior to that competition. I'm in first place, yeah, that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave. Eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. When I watch me elevate. I was born and when I watch me elevate. I was born and when I watch me elevate.
Broken dreams in my pocket. Golden thing round my neck like a locket. Carve your name in my mind, cause you caught it. You caught it. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you know it. Me under the street light at the young, so I could show you. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you're glowing. Me under the mezzanine, just so that I could show you. You're golden. Hey, you're golden. You're golden. Hey, you're golden. Golden. Lay on the carpet, eye to eye, glistening. No, I saw it. I saw it. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you know it. Me under the street light at the young, so I could show you. You're golden, golden.
keep you right here beside me. Wish you could be present.
Getting hype when I aim up, elevating that game up, stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave, eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watch me elevate. Watch me elevate. Getting hype when I aim up. Elevating that game up. Stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave. Eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Simplay Motorsport here for the start of the amateur evening. It is the penultimate rounds of the season all week, and we head to the Amateur League where the title is as close and as hot as ever. It is looking fantastic if you are in the Am League at the moment. 1 point separates the top two, and it is this man, Jay, who's just gone back to the pit, who leads the way from Tech Leader. But it is Tech Leader who will be hunting him down in this championship fight. There is still as well 4 more other drivers involved in this championship fight, but we will lose a lot of them tonight. It could be a 2-horse race, maybe a 3 or 4 horse race come next week. I'm your host, Matthew Duffin. Joining me in the commentary box tonight is my co-commentator Joseph Bates, aka Fury. Good evening, Fury.
Good evening, Matt. How you doing?
Very well, mate. Yourself?
Not too bad, thanks.
Very good to hear. And of course, as always, we've got in the box as well our pit lane reporter, if you will, our Ted Kravitz to our Simplay Motorsport is PN Motorsport. PN, good evening.
Even that. I'm not
Are we-
Kravitz.
Are we well?
Yeah, we're not too bad.
Good to hear. We're at, though, Laguna Seca, a track, Joe, that on Project Cars 2, when we used to run that format of the game, was a very popular circuit with a lot of drivers, and a track we did a lot of times in its days on Project Cars. It's making its debut tonight, though, in ACC.
Yeah, Project Cars 2 was pretty much a favourite track by most of the people at Simplay Motorsport, but ACC, you know, first time on the calendar, it's a completely different style of driving on this game than it is Project Cars 2, so it's going to be interesting to see how these boys race it tonight.
It is indeed, and while we go through Laguna Seca, some of the drivers that are out there on the circuit tonight actually are on the stats page of most successful drivers. The 3 most successful drivers, if you will, is BT Targa, Big Boy Brazier, who have 1 pole and 2 wins for BT Targa, 2 poles and 1 win for Big Boy Brazier. But look, one guy that's out there tonight that is on there with the same stats is unorthodox. 1 pole position, 2 wins. There's no qualifying in Am. Can Dan make that 3 wins in the Retia?
From what we've seen in testing, I don't think the Retia's really got it around here. Other than the straight lines, obviously everything else is tight, twisty. I don't think the Retia's going to do well tonight.
Other notable drivers on that list is Emplava, you'll see him Thursday night. Myself, Shane, you'll see on Thursday night. KLF is another driver on that list. 1 win to his name around here. Can he up that tonight? Fury, you're on the list with 1 win to yourself. Disco Face, Blast from the Past. Overtaker, 1 win and 1 pole position, making him tied with Emplava as the second most successful around this track. Xmart, a Blast from the Past as well, as is Andy. Dean Wasocki, one of the most successful qualifiers around here. What can he do tomorrow night? And Argent as well. So a lot of names on the list. You've got 2 tonight, you've got 2 tomorrow night, and then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 that you will see on Thursday night, all hoping to get their stats up on this list and on this order, and it's going to be fantastic if they can do just that.
I'm not looking forward to Thursday, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah. To be fair, after last night, I'm not really in the Bentley either. It's going to be a difficult one, but the championship's done in pro, so it's all just fighting for them 2nd and 3rd places. that we get to see, but it's not about Pro. There is 50 points left in this championship fight, and it is about Pro-Am. And at the moment, it is looking this way. JP leads the championship race by 1 point, as we said, from Tech Leader, with Emo Guy currently second fastest out there in P3 in the championship in his Diet Iron Brew colours. Future Revenge is then on the list as well. One of the two Bentleys. He's P4. Not been on the podium this season, but has been consistently scoring decent points. Ant, I believe he's back tonight. He is. Ant is back, and he is in their P5, currently still in that championship battle. Barabra, another man not been on the podium, but he's up there in the standings in his green and blue Bentley. He sits P6 with Gingerbush. He's not gone to watch Bolton Wanderers today. That's possibly a wise decision. He's P7. Up the Latix, Gingerbush, if you are listening to the stream. We're going to have banter like this all season, so hope stay tuned for it in the Discord, because me and you could have some good banter this season. Then it's Ben Bath, P8, with the Flying Potatoes team. He's not here tonight. He's actually watching the cricket at Lord, so hope you're having a good night down there. Ben Bath, John Andrews not here tonight in P10. In P9. Them 9 drivers are the last 9 that can win the championship, so Ben Bath, John Andrews not being here are pretty much out of the running. P10, though, is Danlick, who's in new colours tonight, it would seem, and he's got the chance to do something in this P10, maybe cement his spot in that top 10 standing. Sharkbait is P11, not currently out on the circuit. KLF is then in P12, as the track is Optimum, so a lot of these guys have got a good bit of running time in at the moment. Behind Kelly is Leon Fernie, who's just had a bit of a trip into the gravel, and Dan there collects Leon Fernie, as Leon Fernie was trying to rejoin to the circuit there then. Behind Leon Fernie then is Shoemaker, the youngster, in his first full season of sim racing, looking to do bits here. Unorthodox, currently 6th fastest in the Retty, so he's done all right as Dan at the moment. He's P15. He's P16 place. Hopefully he'll turn up tonight. Checo Bress then down in P17. He's got a chance to up the standings tonight. Hitman not here. South African Hitman not here tonight, with CV not here either, and neither is Lee Hendy. Rounding out the table in the Constructors' Championship then, it is Flying Potatoes, who are already your Constructors' Champion ahead of the Cartel Sim Racing team. And only a 2-horse fight. We hope to have more teams in the Amateur League next season. And Joe, 1 point separates Tech Leader and Jay from Tech Leader. Tech Leader led the championship last week by a point. Now Jay leads by a point. This will go down to the Hungaro ring. But what do we see playing out here? If we look at the times on the screen at the moment, Tech Leader's got some good pace over Jay.
Yeah, Tech Leader's got the pace over Jay, and they're obviously both in the Ferrari. But Tech Leader also starts behind. No, he doesn't. He starts alongside.
Yeah, he will start alongside, because there's 14 cars on the grid. PN, just to go to you as well, 1 point in a championship fight is as close as ever, and it is brilliant to see. But which way do you think this championship fight is going to go? Because we've seen Jay be in the lead every week up until last week.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with Jay. He's got the race wins. Tech Leader hasn't yet. Has he?
He's won 1, yeah, he's won 1.
Won one. I think Jay was our first repeat. What's that? So I can't remember.
We'll see what happens in this one tonight. It is going to be a fantastic night of action to watch. That is for sure. 14 drivers. We are hoping to get Lee Handy, Checo, CV and O in the lobby for their race tonight. Hopefully they will be able to race, and yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to see. We are, though, going to put a poll out at the minute. Before we put a poll out, good evening to Jay in the chat. Fury's Grand, that evening to yourself. Benedict Varga, good evening. He's in Germany, so it's nice to hope you're enjoying your holiday in Germany. Always looking forward to a new episode of Dan and the Ret here, he says in the chat. UMVDM, good evening to you. Daz Automatic, very good evening. Steve DVD, nice stream. Thank you very much, Steve. Hope you are doing very well, buddy. Hit that subscribe button if you do like what you see here. Jamie Brazier, good evening, lads and ladies. Very good evening to you, sir. And Ant in the stream, as well as out there on the circuit, or in the pits at the moment. So, Ant, very good evening to you. My French friend, hope you are doing well. And obviously a new feature you'd have seen on the graphics there, the country flags of where these drivers are from and being represented by on the stream today, on the tables for last week. And it was an interesting one to look at, Joe, the fact that we noticed over the week, well, let me find it in my notes, that is Pro-Am. Where is the amateur drivers? We've got a few English drivers, as we know. Baraba is Italian. Sharkbait is from Brazil. That's an interesting one for me. We know Leon Fernie's Scotland. Danlik is from Mexico, Costa Rica for CV Urena, Ant is from France, Future Revenge, Italian, Checo Bress is Italian as well, Hitman when he's here is South African. We're not sure where O is from yet, that's the only one we're not sure on. If they didn't have a flag next to the name, but I've just read it out, that's because we wasn't aware of their nationality before the tables was posted. And as well then, when you look at Pro-Am, you've got another mixed bag. We've got Montenegro, we've got Wales, we've got England, Scotland, USA, Ecuador, Belgium. Max Mulder did say Papua New Guinea. It turns out he's pressed the wrong one. He's actually from Holland. Bit of a difference there between N and P for the Netherlands to Papua New Guinea. Italian as well. Only one driver again in there. Mordecai, we're not sure where he's from. But again, Belgium in that list. And then when we look at the pro list, we're looking at drivers from, again, a great mix of countries. We've got Wales, Latvia, Holland, England, Hungarian, a driver from Hungary, Austrian, Czech, or Czechia, I believe people are calling it now, Czechia, Slovenian, German. We've got drivers from all across Europe. It is fantastic to see. But it is the amount of South American drivers I've noticed this season that is absolutely brilliant to see them in these lobbies.
Who was that for? Me or for
Anybody. It was a question. Go, shoot.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Oh, I was muted.
So, here on the Ps4. Imagine what it'd be like on the PS5 version.
Yeah, imagine what it will be like when the PS5 version comes out.
Mid-season?
Joe, PS5 version? We're looking forward to when Simplay Motorsport moves to that one?
Oh yeah, 100%.
I'm sure there's a certain event that you're being particularly looking forward to.
Oh yeah, you know it.
Obviously, for those who are, it's not a mid-season event. I'm not talking about the mid-season event that is coming. I'm talking about the Friday night event that we did on a different channel. The driver swaps is a feature that will be coming to the PS5 SimPlay series when it gets live and we can figure out how to work it properly. PNU was helping me and Joe with our race strategy, as well as Daz and Keegs. Me and Joe was racing it. I'm excited. Oh, we've just lost a driver there. That is Leon Fernie we've just lost. Hopefully he gets back in. Boys, this is for both of you. We are looking forward, I believe, to this driver swap season that's coming.
Oh yeah, 100%. After Friday night, I have found a new race to love. Or type of racing to love, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Don't know if I've got the free time to do it anymore.
You can always find time to race at Simply Motorsport.
You should be able to find time to race at Simply Motorsport. You're right, Joe. It's going to be a fascinating one, see as it goes through. But let's talk about a bit more about Laguna Seca, boys. It's was Dan twitched there and bounces into the wall. So Dan had a horrible snap there and into the wall he went. Very good circuit tonight. It's going to be an interesting one. But in your opinions, who's going to come out the race winner?
For me, it's going to either be Tech Leader or Jay.
No, you can only pick one.
This ain't fair. I think I'm going to go the way of Tech Leader, just because, obviously, if I was to pick between JP and Tech Leader seems to have the better pace, but does he have the consistency to keep it going and get ahead of Jay and pull away?
Well, Jay hasn't made my list, so PM, who are you going for?
I'm going to go for Emo. I think Emo's more experienced in this game rather than off. Why can't I hear myself?
Yeah, there was a slight echo there a moment ago. I believe we've lost the echo now, hopefully. If there is an echo on the stream, please put in the chat and let us know your comments on it. So you're going Emo, Fury's going Tech Leader, I'm going to go Ant at the moment. Jay's not made the top 4 list. We always go the top 4 for practice, so that is why Tech Leader, Emo Guy, Sharp Beta, Ant is your 4 options. Good evening to Daz in the chat, who said, love the swap event last Friday. It was a fantastic event. We're going to be bringing you it on SimPlay Motorsport. We've got it is going to take, you have to bear with us for the driver swap event because it is going to take some time to learn how to set it up. It is a complicated event that we have to set up, and please bear with us. Oh, there is Jay, skates across the grass. One man who's returning tonight, though, Joe, who's got a lot of pace, but has kind of been caught up in a few incidents this season, is Ginger Bush.
Yeah, Ginger Bush, I don't know if he still races in the Porsche Cup anymore, but I haven't seen him for a while. But in those Porsche Cups, he seemed to have a lot of pace, but he was just making too many mistakes, and he fell to the back of the pack. But in this, he seems mid-pack, you know, he's not doing too bad. And that Porsche, obviously, I've not really driven it before. But from what I can tell, it is a good car. He's got to know how to drive it.
Yeah, you have indeed. And obviously, actually... Yeah, he's lost it there through the corkscrew there.
Oh, there he is.
As we now go to Leon back in... Oh, I think that's Joe's headset there that's just playing up a little bit. So we do apologise about that. Hopefully we can get that one sorted. Leon Fernie's back in the lobby. It doesn't look like we're going to get O or CV Renner in. So that's a shame for them, as Leon Fernie has now confirmed on the page that he will be racing. So CV Renner won't be in. It looks like an O struggling to be in as well, which is a shame to not see them two out there. But while we wait for Joe to possibly sort his head out, PN, 14 drivers, it's still a good grid. We've seen AM get bigger all season. The grid seemed to have got bigger as the season's gone on. Lee Hendy not here, not sure why. Hitman's not been here, not sure why tonight. John Andrews not sure why. We know Ben Bath's at the cricket, so if the cricket wasn't on, maybe Ben Bath would have been here as well. But it's great to see the grid has grown throughout the season.
Yeah, well, at least they're committed to the end of the season. We've had seasons previously where, so-and-so's won, I'm not turning up no more.
We have had this a few times, haven't we, where seasons have gone by and drivers haven't turned up. What do we think tonight? Well, while Joe's obviously sort of having a few headset problems at the moment, what do we think tonight, PM? We've got a chance here to see some good driving. Dan's clearly just going out there to test one little thing. We speak about the Ret here a lot of times in this season, PN, and in this championship since Dan has chose this car. This is his big test tonight, though, is it? Is it not? Is this his biggest test tonight? Zandvoort, I'd say, was possibly his biggest one, but he's got the good main straight there to pull away. Silverstone, you had the hanger straight and the Wellington straight. You've not really got a straight here. No, is this his biggest test tonight?
Yeah. I reckon he wish he was in the Hurricane, actually, in the same colours. At least the Hurricane handles a little bit better.
Yeah, at least the Hurricane does handle a little bit better, and it's going to be interesting to see what Dan Davis can do tonight out there. Dan will be in the commentary box with me tomorrow night. If you want to tune in for Pro-Am, then make sure you do so while Nexus is enjoying his holiday in Germany. We'll be sat tomorrow night, me and Dan in the commentary box, listening to PN go around the track in his Aston Martin V8. All being well, Tano is down as tentative. And then Dan Davis and PM Motorsport will be back in the commentary box Thursday night. Back as Dan now comes into the pits. And don't forget, me and PN will be back live. Porsche Cup on Sunday, where Fury, PN, has the chance to win. And let's just, while we wait for the race, let's just talk about Fury in the Porsche Cup. I know he's in the party, I know he can hear us, but he's been a cut above the rest in these cars this season.
Oh, he absolutely loves the Cup car. Before we went on air, I said, why don't you run the Cup car in GT3s next season? It's probably as quick as a lot of these GT3 cars.
Well, Gary, we did a fun event at Silverstone ages ago.
Well, that was our fun
and
season,
Gary,
wasn't it?
No, this is going back a long time ago. We have lost a driver. I'm not sure who that is. Hopefully they can get back in enough time before the race. They've got time. They may be now starting a lap down, actually, because of the formation lap. They've still got time, actually, to get in before the formation lap. But one thing I did notice is, Gary ran it a long time ago. It's Checo Bress that's just commented on Discord saying, I think there is a problem.
Well, we can't help if it's your PlayStation.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I can't exactly fly over to Italy, he said it's from, right?
He's Italian.
It was PS4 / could even be a PS5. Oh, he's back in. He has made it back in.
Ah, there we go. That's great to see. Checo Bress is in. At the moment, he is into the lobby. Hopefully he'll be able to get his setup loaded and ready to go. But yeah, Joe's just been a cut above the rest. He has the chance, like others, to win the championship on the penultimate round of the season, doesn't he? And he's been a fantastic driver in the Porsche Cup this season.
Yeah, he's been pretty much unstoppable. The only person who can get close is Dan. It seems.
And Dan's not really close in the championship. Right, the grid order will be updated, which means with no CV and no O, the grid order will be like this. Checo Bress is in the pit, so would have started from pole, but will now not. It will mean that Unorthodox will start from pole position. Shoemaker will then be in second place. As Joe still sounds like he's having a few problems with his headset here. So it will be Shoemaker in P2.
Shoemaker needs to move up to P2. He's not yet because there's still Kelly behind Daniel. Oh,
yeah,
Leon's now up there.
Yeah, Leon's in front of Kelly.
Yeah, so we're just waiting for Shoemaker to move.
Yeah, just waiting for Shoemaker to make his way to the front.
If Dan can hear us, start backing them up.
Dan should be backing them up. He's a pro at this. He should be able to do the job. So there will be 13 starters, 14 because Checo Bress has got to go from the pits. Dan does need to start backing them up so that Shoemaker can make his way through. Because at the minute, Shoemaker is out of position. He is 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe he's 6th place at the moment, if not 5th. He's behind Dan Lick. He's now coming through Dan Lick. He's through Sharkbait. He's on now the back of Kelly. Dan still hasn't backed the pack up. It's Leon Fernie that has started to back the pack up. Shoemaker's then gone wide as he comes through. No, you don't want to do that. Right, so Shoemaker is now in position. Then it should be Leon Fernie. Check. Then it should be KLF. Check as the camera's going to pan around. Yes, it is. After KLF, it should then be Sharkbait. Indeed, it is. Then it should be Danlick. Yes. After Danlick, it should be Ginger Bush, which it is. Behind Ginger Bush, there is all sorts of chaos going off because it should then be Baraba, who is behind Ginger Bush. Baraba now needs to really catch Ginger Bush here, and he's now falling down the back of the pack. Baraba is the man who should be then behind Ginger Bush at the moment, and it isn't.
Dan's really gone quite slow now, trying to back them all back.
Yeah, this is one of the worst grid starts we've actually had for a while now. Am has been quite good at these all season. Baraba's now at the back of the pack, when Baraba needs to be behind Ginger Bush. After Baraba, so if Ginger Bush is there, behind Ginger Bush should be Baraba. After him, it should be Ant, which it is. Ant, and then Future Revenge, which as they come through the corkscrew, there's Ginger Bush, there's Ant, there's Future Revenge. There's then Emo Guy should be behind him, which it is. Then it should be Tech Leader. Then it should be Jay. As Baraba now looks like he's going to move up the order. Needs to get ahead of Ant, and he's done just that. So we then, ladies and gentlemen, are about to go racing. That felt a little like it took a little longer than it should have done, mate.
It did a little bit. There's not like Am's been quite good.
Yeah, Ram has been quite good. Good evening to Shane Bembridge in the chat, aka Shane from Thursday Night's Pro Series. The only reason I want PS5 for doing endurance stuff, I once had a 4-hour event without driver swap. It was a pain, but I finished 5th. Well done to you, Ben. Get a PS5, get the driver swaps going immediately.
They've done the price drop now for current model.
Well, in the UK they have. He's Hungarian, let's not forget.
I think it's
Is it working now?
It seems to be working now, Joe. We have you now. Right, as the drivers come down the start line, race start will be initialised in just a few moments' time. We've well passed the start-finish line. Race start is only now initialised. We are, for the penultimate round of the season, green and go here. And Dan Drettier gets an almighty start and an almighty launch as Ginger Bush is looking on the inside of Sharkbait and KLF, who are coming together a little bit, a bit of bump indoors. Everybody seems through into Turn 1 pretty clearly, though. Ginger Bush going to now look up the inside of Emo Guy, and Emo Guy looks like he's got that one done on Ginger Bush. A bit of chaos going on further behind, and that involved JP, and I believe is that Tech Leader who was round as well. It wasn't, it was Ant who was round at the start of this. So after the first sector time, it is Unorthodox as the camera's going to try and pick him up, some of these cameras. So it's Dan from Leon Fernie, Shoemaker, who's looking up the inside of Leon Fernie into the left-hander. Can't get it done. He does now, though, because Leon Fernie's gone very wide. And Shoemaker and Leon Fernie still stay side by side. Up the hill they go once again. It is Shoemaker who is now past Leon Fernie. Sharkbait is then just behind these. He's got himself past KLF. We're still going to stay with this Sharkbait Leon Fernie battle at the moment. But Fury, what's happened with Jay a bit further back?
Jay just seems to be sliding for every single corner, and I was checking through the pack, and then it just seen yellow flag number 15 stopped on the track, and he was on the straight coming into the quick left-hander, and he was just stood still on the gravel.
And he is down to last place as we have had a bit of congestion there. Ginger Bush is going to look up the inside of KLF. Can't make that one done. Baraba's managed to stick with these, but one man who's pulled off already at the start of this race is Dan. And another man that's on a trainer car is Tech Leader. And this is huge for the championship at the moment. Oh, Jay. Oh, my days. Jay's car has got significant damage on that rear end. So, Joe, I don't know what you've seen. He's gone well off somewhere. He's in the pits. Joe, he's in the pits.
Oh, did he speed into the pits?
Yeah, that looked quick. That looked quick. So, Jay is in the pits. There is Dan leading this race from Leon Fernie. Then it's Shoemaker and Sharkbait right on the rear wing of Shoemaker. What an absolute demon start to this race for Dan. He would have dreamed of a better opening couple of laps.
He's probably paid Leon to hold the pack up.
Sharkbait looking up the inside of Shoemaker. Does he get the run? He doesn't in that Ferrari. Kelly's gone a little wide though. He's got Ginger Bush coming up the inside of him. And that is job done. Ginger Bush moves into P5. Great move there from Ginger Bush. Tech Leader sitting on the back of Baraba, being very patient at the moment. There he is, Tech Leader, in this championship fight. And Jay in the pits already. That is really going to hurt his championship chances. One man who also has damage, his Emo guy. Looks like the bonnet's lifted on his car. Did him and Jay come together, I wonder?
I think Emo had contact with Danlick because Danlick was wide coming into turn 2 as well.
Kelly's wide.
Kelly's wide, and here comes Ant out the corkscrew up the inside of Future Revenge. Good move that from him, from Ant there.
Oh, Future Revenge is on the gravel, and he's back onto the trainer. Jay's away.
So Jay is away. Let's see if he's a lap down to everybody now. Does he have a time penalty? No, he's pretty lucky. He's going to have to make another pit stop. So Shoemaker still ahead of Sharkbait on the back of Leon Fernie. Ginger Bush trying to catch both of these two. Then it's Baraba who's got KLF and Tech Leader breathing down his neck. Baraba's got past Kelly somewhere. His Jay's off, coming out the pit exit.
Yeah, just misses brakes up. Oh wait, who's number 10? Ant's had an accident on the start-finish line.
Interesting. So Future Revenge has got back ahead of him, but it is now Kelly who's trying to attack Baraba. In fact, he's attacked Baraba. He's got past Baraba. We missed that one. All right, I missed it. I wasn't looking at my screen. And then we see that he has also got Tech Leader on the back of him. Danlick trying to stick with these two. Sharkbait, though, really starting to put a bit of pressure on Shoemaker here. And, Joe, this is what we're saying. Oh, Ginger Bush, big wiggle in the background. Well held as Sharkbait's going to go side by side into the corkscrew. He's got the inside line for the first part, and Shoemaker backs out of that one as Leon Fernie's lost it down the corkscrew. He puts it back together now, but has lost both places to Sharkbait and
Kelly's
Shoemaker.
Just tapped Tech Leader around in the corkscrew. Tech Leader had the move done on Kelly and Baraba up to come towards the corkscrew, and then KLF just missed his brakes and went into the back.
So that puts Baraba and Kelly back out of Tech Leader. There is Ginger Bush and Leon Fernie. Leon Fernie's lost even more places. Tech Leader's lost out to Danlick now. And that is trying to be a very fast Ferrari of Jay, trying to unlap himself here, Joe. He's got himself in a bit of predicament because you've got to abide by blue flags. But if you're quick enough, you can unlap yourself.
Yeah, he's pulling out on Baraba now, trying to unlap himself. But then he's got all of these cars behind him as well. It's like they're all in like one big pack.
They all are in one big pack as Danlick on the inside of Tech Leader, and he's actually defending that from Tech Leader. Emo Guy's just behind them. Tech Leader 2 wheels on the gravel there. This could help Emo Guy have a little sniff. Oh, Kelly bounces off the curbs. Oh, he's clipped Jay. He's clipped Jay and he's clipped Tech Leader as well. And Emo Guy and Danlick all caught up in that one.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
All come from Kelly bouncing off the sausage curb, and that has took out a few drivers there. And Jay, after pitting once again, he's carried on his way. It seems very little damage to his car. But what that will do is
got damage to that rear Ferrari because he's sliding through the corners now.
That's going to be an interesting one. He did get walloped up the rear from Danlick. So now if Tech Leader has to pit, all of a sudden the championship battle is back on here. But at the minute, you say it's going the way of Tech Leader at the moment because he's not had to do that extra pit stop. As they come through, though, one man who's... Oh, Jay. Tech Leader, sorry, up the inside of Danlick, who's missed the corkscrew by a mile. One man who's driving it his own way at the minute, 5.6 seconds clear, is that of Dan and Orthodubs as Kelly yellow flag final set just before the corkscrew.
He has got major damage to that McLaren. On the front of it, the whole front's just lifted.
Dan, though, at the minute, gone.
He is gone, but Sharkbait
5 seconds up the road. Sharkbait's a very quick driver in that Ferrari, so obviously with Dan not having the proper corner speed, I want Sharkbait's wide.
Emo's into the pit, so clearly that damage has got worse for him. So he is in. This will help Jay out. So Emo guy's into the pits. Kelly's also going to box. So all of a sudden, Jay was a lap down to 2 cars. Jay's coming into turns 1, 2, 3, 4 now, and he's absolutely going to be back in this championship fight. He's just unlapped himself from Leon Fernie. He's probably now going to be on the back of Emo guy and Kelly when they come out of the pits. All of a sudden, Jay's back in this fight for some more extra points.
I think Jay might have Emo and Kelly in the pits because Jay only had 1 incident.
Oh, Leon and Baraba wide through the right-hander up the hill. Both very wide there. They managed to hold it together as Future Revenge now at the same corners looking on Danlick. Can't get anything done there. Tech Leader stayed out in 7th place, it's interesting to note. And Joe at the moment, Daz, Jamie Brazier and UMVDM in the chat. Not good in chaos, they're saying.
Yeah, this has just been a bit of a chaotic start from Am tonight. Unusual for Am, to be honest.
Very is. Am's been one of the better leagues all season long. So Kelly and Emo guy still stationary in the pit. Where is Jay? This is crucial for the championship. Jay has gained 2 extra places. So Jay has passed them both. Checo Bress will unlap himself from pair of them as well. Good to see Checo Bresto going because it's points in the bag. But all of a sudden, Future Revenge now has Ant on the back of him. And what was 5 seconds last lap is down to 3.6. Sharkbait's coming for Dan.
Yeah, Sharkbait just seems to be on another level right now in that Ferrari.
One thing we did forget to mention... Sorry, go on.
Sorry, go ahead.
One thing we did forget to mention in this... we did it again. One thing we did forget to mention in this race is if McLaren win... That's their 50th race win at GT3. Ferrari need 5 podiums to get their 50th podium in GT3. At the minute, McLaren aren't going to win, but Ferrari could knock that down to 4 podiums required for its 50th, which can be done this week. The other one is McLaren 2 poles for 25. That isn't going to happen tonight with no qualifying. And the other one is Gary 1 pole for 25. Gary's got a qualifying ban for Thursday, so that's not going to happen either. Future Revenge trying to still hunt down Danlick, who looks like he's got front end damage, and Ansel on the back of him, Joe.
Yeah, there's just... It's like they're in sort of like 3 packs.
Yeah.
Well, they were, but now they're all split up a bit. Oh, wait.
Oh, Ant up the inside of Future Revenge, who's had a horrible corkscrew. And Ant is through on Future Revenge. Checo Bress, by the way. That's how long Kelly and Emo guys' pit stops was. Checo Bress is ahead of the pair of them, so they've got time to make up here. But Ant has got past Future Revenge. And Baraba's got past Shoemaker, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I was just watching. I was about to say...
What happened, Joe?
I think we should talk about Shoemaker for a second, because obviously he's not had the best of seasons getting caught up in a lot of incidents.
No, I believe PN as well.
Going.
I believe when me and PN was on commentary, was it Spa PN? He was leading the race comfortably and disconnected due to Wi-Fi.
Yeah, he did. He had a lovely lead and then his Wi-Fi just dropped.
It did indeed. And Shoemaker, we've spoke to the other day in the party, he's actually only 14 years old from England. And, you know, this is his first proper real, you know, he's raced games. This is his first sim sort of experience, so it's good to see him doing well. Ginger Bush, though, has got himself up to P3. He's another quick driver that Dan's going to have to contend with. The gap out front was another second over the last lap that it has been brought down. So Dan is being caught by Sharkbait here.
Yeah, he's being caught by Sharkbait, but only 5 seconds down the road is Ginger Bush. And I think Ginger Bush, if Dan and Sharkbait start fighting, Ginger Bush is going to be able to catch him to the back of these, and then it might be a 3-way fight for the lead.
Indeed, it might. Jamie Brazier. Gary's had 24 poles now for what feels like 20 years. It's funny you say that, Jamie. That's exactly what we have all said on the parties for like 8 weeks now. That Gary's been on that sort of milestone for ages. PN, he's got a quali ban, so he's got to try and do it at Hungary or in the Porsche Cup. Can he get it this season?
How not to sound like, or lose even more popularity? Probably not. Not when you've got like Ripper in Pro.
Ripper in Pro and Fury in Porsche Cup.
Exactly.
Yeah. Bit difficult to do. Emo Guy, though, has got himself past Checo Bress, so he's now down to 13th. Emo Guy moves himself up another place. Emo Guy's had pace tonight. Kelly's only 23 seconds behind, so Kelly can make up some places. Danlick has been passed by Ant. Shoemaker, though, is trying to work his way back through ahead of Baraba. Leon Fernie's only a couple of seconds down the road. Tech Leader's not made the progression through. So he was the quickest in practice, Joe. Tech Leader's not made the progression, I thought. Is this because he's carrying potential damage?
Yeah, that's a little slide. I think Tech Leader's struggling because I don't know if you see what I see on the rear, but his rear end just looks a completely different colour from what it's supposed to be.
Now,
damage he's got.
An interesting thing to point out here is Jay is actually only been lapped by the top 3 drivers now. So Jay, in terms of the next car on his, or what will be on his lap, because he's unlapped everybody, is Future Revenge. Future Revenge is there, just gone through the corkscrew. Jay is just about to cross the line. So Jay is currently 2 sectors behind Future Revenge. They both have to pit again. Jay's got to get a wiggle on here. As up front, Tech Leader there, look, he's right on the back of Leon Fernie. Further up front, though. That sounds like the Ferrari and the Retia are getting a little close. 1.4 seconds. They're about to come up towards Sector 1.
Shoemaker's going up the inside of Baraba into Turn 1. He's got the inside line coming out of Turn 2. Looks like he's got... Ooh, no, they're still side by side coming into Turn 3.
Yeah, so Baraba's going to look back up the inside at Turn 3. He's going to have that line. They do well not to make contact. Baraba, though, a little wiggly on the exit. Shoemaker, thank you, Mama, for the car. It's the first one of the evening.
Now just waiting for Tech Leader to do a little sutty send it on Leon Fernie.
Yeah, and we're also keeping our eyes on this battle. 9/10 of a second out front. Dan leading Sharkbait. So Dan has had a good 8 laps out front, or he's had it his own way. And the last time we saw Dan start to be put under pressure by Jay and Tech Leader last week, he made a mistake, but that was in the wet of Silverstone. This is the dry of Laguna Seca. 4 seconds behind these pair is Gingerbush. So as long as Dan can defend this gap, he should then maybe bring Gingerbush into battle here and bring Gingerbush into play at the moment. So far, though, so good. If you are Dan, you are currently leading the way in the race. Lap 9, Sharkbait second with Gingerbush third. Shoemaker is fourth from Baraba, with Tech Leader now ahead of Leon Fernie for 6th and 7th. Ant is in 8th, and Ant's not a million miles away behind these two. Then it's Danlick, Future Revenge,
Leon Fernie's
right on the
rear end of Tech Leader.
So more damage for Tech Leader in his pit stop, and Leon Fernie back through, and that brings Ant into even more play here. Future Revenge right on the back of Danlick, it seems, and Jay, where is Jay's car? Going into Sector 1 as Future Revenge goes over the line. So Jay still 2 sectors behind Future Revenge, but has closed that gap because it was over 2 sectors last time. It is now just under 2 sectors.
Sharkbait, Dan around, hate to interrupt you. Both Gingerbush takes the lead.
Gingerbush takes lead. PM, what happened there? You saw that one better than us two. Talk us through it.
I was on the helicam, and Sharkbait just literally went up to look down the inside of Dan and just drove into him. Like Dan wasn't there.
So Sharkbait's fault from what you've seen there.
What I saw, that was Sharkbait's fault, yes.
Evening to Hypertech in the chat. Jay has now unlapped himself from Sharkbait and is now on the rear wing of Dan. And Dan here, a very wise driver. Does he need to fight Jay? Does Jay need to fight too hard? Obviously, Jay wants to fight hard. He needs to make up even more places. Pit window opens in about 3 minutes' time. It's about 27.5 minutes the pit window opens. So 3 minutes' time for that. But Gingerbush is now your new race leader from Dan from Sharkbait. Shoemaker's led of Baraba. Tech Leader still on the back of Leon Fernie. Baraba was in the gravel a little bit there. I'd love to say grass, but we're in the desert, so the sand.
Well, it was grass once.
It was once, yeah, many moons ago. Future Revenge also still on the back of Danlick. So Jay now is right behind Dan. So as Jay crossed Sector 1 timing screen last time, Danlick actually, is he just bailed for the pit lane? No, he's just let Future Revenge go as he's made a mistake. So Jay now goes through Sector 1 now. By the time Future Revenge is here, Jay's already gone through the next corner, so Jay is gaining. Danlick has now made a mistake, so Jay is gaining on that of Danlick. At the moment, though, it's Tech Leader on the back of Leon Fernie. That's the closest battle, Joe.
Yeah, I feel like, personal opinion, I think Leon Fernie should have let Tech Leader back through after that incident that had them both spinning. Because Leon Fernie just seemed to miss his brakes and go straight into the back of him, but I'm surprised Tech Leader held the slide. But,
Leon Fernie having to defend. Sorry to cut you off there, Joe. Leon Fernie having to defend. He skips over the sausage curb, and that's what you're going to get. And Tech Leader will not make an easier overtake all day long. And Tech Leader, thank you, Mama, for the carrots, Leon Fernie. Oh, he's done it again. He's done it again. Where's Antance in the background? Leon Fernie's very wide and off. He rejoins now. He's back on the track safely. What's happening with Dan, though? Because Jay's still behind him, and Jay can unlap himself if he's quicker, but has to be careful doing so. Has Dan just pulled to the side to let Jay go there? I think he has, you know, yes.
But then he's also opened himself up to the attack of shark bait.
That is the experience, though, of Dan, knowing that his car's quick enough in a straight line that shark bait won't get him. There, do you reckon?
Yeah, but then he also just closes, like you can see shark bait just close in so much on the brakes.
Is Dan thinking more a podium than the race win here? Look, Sharkbait right on the back of Dan, has a bit of a wiggle there. Did Sharkbait. And Dan now having to think about this. But is Dan thinking more along the lines of podium over the race win here? Because Ginger Bush is gone since the Sharkbait Dan incident, in which was here 2 laps ago. Or coming up to the area 2 laps ago. Yeah, Baraba keeps going onto the grass. That's 5 seconds between them two. Tech leaders gaining on Baraba and Ant within 2/10 of Leon Fernie at the moment. We're going to watch Sharkbait up into the corkscrew on Dan.
Straight on.
No moves there. Danlick straight on. That's going to help Jay, especially now Jay is cleared on Orthodox end. So Jay has unlapped everybody bar Ginger Bush. And Jay is coming round towards the final sector. Where is Danlick? Car number 72. So Danlick's coming up towards sector 2 at the minute, which is just before the corkscrew. So a couple of laps ago, as Jay went to sector 1, Danlick was coming towards the final corner. Baraba's had another moment. This is going to put Tech Leader up another spot. And as Jay starts to gain on cars, Tech Leader is making moves on other cars. Tech Leader up to 5th.
There's so many sausage curbs on this track.
Yeah. You've got to watch him on the apex of the corners. Baraba bails to the pits. First man in. Ant bails to the pits. Second man in. And that's Dan who's off. Dan's made a mistake.
I didn't catch that one.
Baraba's hit the pit wall. Thank you, PM. What happened to Dan? Did him and Sharkbait come to blows yet again there? Dan now will start to wonder if...
He's flashing him.
Yeah, that to me... Danlick's hit the pit wall as well, so all 3 in. So that's going to be big damage for Danlick. Jay's now going to be able to catch him. That to me, Joe, the flash from Dan there is, oi, what are you doing?
Give me the position back, son.
Yeah. Jay, though, now is within a striking range. Kelly slowly creeping onto the back of Checo Bress as Checo Bress pits. If I was Kelly, I'd probably bring it into the pit straight away. Give yourself more time on fresh tyres to get out there. Here comes Jay, though. Will Jay opt to pit straight away as well? Or will Jay think of going long? What's the strategy you'd call here, Joe?
I think... See, this is a question I was just about to ask you. Does Jay pit now and then push all the way to the end? Or does he push now, pit, and then push the rest of the way? Personally, if I was Jay, I would pit now and then just push all the way to the end.
Well, he's not listened to you because he stayed out on track and he will come past Baraba. He's got past Ant. He's got past Danlick, who have all pitted. And he's now got a chance to pull away from them. Checo Bress and Dan now comes into the pit. So Dan looking for the undercut. As Checo Bress is now away, but Kelly and Emo Guy have got past him as Emo Guy decides to stay out. What about Tech Leader? He's going to box Future Revenge, who's close to the back of Tech Leader there. So I think Tech Leader's actually had another mistake because on my screens he's ahead of Leon Fernie. But Leon Fernie's actually just crossed the line to go ahead of Tech Leader and was ahead of Tech Leader before they got to the final corner. Ridiculous start, seriously, says Ant in the chat. So Ant clearly unhappy with the start of the race.
Yeah, it was a bit of a messy start from Ant, to be honest. It was like, what's it called? Bumper cars.
Yeah, it was a bit. It was a little bit like bumper cars. Right, so Ginger Bush is your race leader from Sharkbait, who's just putting a lap on Baraba, but I don't think Baraba's got to worry. Now, any damage Dan had, I don't think he's repaired, because he's had an absolute blistering pit stop there. He's in and out. Kelly's in as well, so he's possibly looking for the jump over Emo Guy. Tech Leader into the pits. So current championship leader into the pits. Where's Jay? Jay boxes now. Oh, that looked quick again. Yeah, he didn't pit the last lap, so should he have pitted first lap? He's going to give himself, though, a good 24 minutes. Does he repair damage, though, Joe?
I mean, on a track with no straights, do you really need to repair damage?
I suppose it depends how the handling feels, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be too bad, because it just seemed like a little tap. He's
now actually on the same lap as Tech Leader here at the moment. So Ant will come through. Danlick will come through. He was chasing Danlick down, let's not forget. So Tech Leader's now away. So Jay was chasing Tech Leader down and was 2 sectors behind. Let's now see the gap to Danlick after Danlick has done his pit stop. Tech Leader's now away and now goes back to 1 lap behind the leader, but the leader obviously hasn't pitted yet. Emo Guy gets back. In fact, no, Emo Guy has jumped Jay, but Emo Guy is yet to pit. Kelly leaves the pits and has been passed by Checo Brest, but that gap seems a bit closer as well. Jay is now away. Where is Danlick? Danlick has only just gone through sector 1, so Jay has really closed that gap down. PN, any pit infringements we've seen so far?
No, so far.
Good.
A couple of people brushing the wall on the inside of pit lane.
People brushing the wall, right? Interesting to note. Dan is nearly lapped by Ginger Bush, who was fighting for the lead a couple of laps ago, but Ginger Bush yet to pit. 16 minutes left on the clock. It'd be great to see Ginger Bush on the podium. Sharpbait, will he decide to box this time around? No real battles happening in a minute. This is the beauty of the pit stops. It ebb and flows, and we wait for the drivers to come in and make their stops. Sharpbait stays out. Shoemaker, the next one. Dan and Baraba are the 2 lead cars who have pitted. So will Dan's undercut work here?
I mean, Dan's got a hefty gap back to Baraba, so everyone else in the front is going to come out either in front or between them.
Yeah.
Sharpbait stays out. Another lap.
Sharpbait out. Shoemaker stayed out. Emo guys tucked into the pit lane. Leon Fernie stays out as well. What will Future Revenge do?
Stays out.
Yeah, he stays out as well. So Emo and that's the only driver who pits at the moment is Emo Guy. Right, Kelly 6 seconds behind Checo Brest. That's the closest fight on the circuit at the moment. Where is Jay then to get past Emo Guy? Car 72 slow. Who is that? That is Danlick, who is round at the exit of turn 2. So Danlick round needs to get going at the moment. Will he get it going? Keep your eyes on Danlick. Make sure he gets it going. So Jay will get past Emo Guy. Tech leader is now ahead of Danlick. Well, this is not going to help him because Jay is now coming. Jay's back up to 11th place ahead of Emo Guy, who's stationary in the pit lane. I think Ginger Bush is in. Yeah, thanks, PN. I was just about to say, I noticed on the track map he was slow. Jay now is on the back of Danlick near enough. Danlick's just gone through sector 1. Here comes Jay. We're going to see some times on the board for Jay now. Danlick 16 seconds behind Tech leader. That's possibly opened up. Sharpbait's in the pits as well. Jay's 9 seconds behind. Closest battle on track at the minute. Ant to Baraba. Great to see Ant back on the circuit at the moment, and he's doing. He said that ridiculous start, but he's fighting through the pack at the moment, and he's fighting through well.
Yeah, Ant's catching on to the back of Baraba again. I'm pretty sure before the pit stops, Ant was in front of Baraba.
No, I don't think he was. So Leon Fernie stays out. Shoemaker stays out. Future Revenge is in. Dan, in terms of the leaders, Ginger Bush is away. Ginger Bush is away. Dan's not even at the corkscrew yet. So Ginger Bush is going to have a big lead here. What about Sharkbait? Dan's got to worry about Shoemaker. The gap was 14 seconds to Shoemaker when Dan pitted. Sharkbait is now away. He's not off the limiter yet. You'll know when they're off the limiter. The P disappears next to their name for meaning that they're in the pits. Dan's come out the corkscrew now into the penultimate corner. Sharkbait off the limiter now. So Dan, P3 you're going to imagine at the moment. Future Revenge still in the pits as Baraba's now coming towards a corkscrew, and Ant is 6/10 off the back of Baraba. Ant is charging on the Bentley at the moment.
I think Dan's repaired his damage.
Yeah, I think he did. Oh, Ant looking up the inside. Sorry, Joe, Ant looking up the inside just after the corkscrew. Baraba's gone wide.
Baraba's on the gravel and sliding.
Big wiggle there from Baraba, but Ant's got through nice and saved and unharmed there. Future Revenge is now away as here comes Baraba and Ant, the two that are close enough to pass him. Leon Fernie spanning the corkscrew. That's a shame because he's got to pit. Where's Future Revenge? There he is. Are we going to see Ant and Baraba go through? There is Ant. There is Baraba. Where is Tech Leader, though? Not close enough, so Tech Leader will stay. P9 will Tech Leader at the moment. Jay's gaining on the back of Danlick. No, Jay's past Danlick. Danlick's got big damage. He's off. Oh! And nearly collects Sharkbait.
That was a hefty.
Right. Do you want to know something interesting?
Of course.
Tech Leader is 9th. Jay is 10th. The difference in points is 1, which means they will be tied on points if it stays as it is at the moment going to the Hungaroring next week. It will be tied on points.
Can't ask for a better battle, could you?
You can't ask for a better battle, PN. No, you can't. If Tech Leader gets ahead of Future Revenge... Literally. If Tech Leader gets ahead of Future Revenge, Tech Leader will lead the championship by 1 point. So it is all to play for. Leon Fernie in the pits. Dan is going to make his way past. Ant is coming towards the final couple of corners here. I tell you what, Leon Fernie's now away. But he's some halfway.
Hit this lap.
Yeah, he's got to. Otherwise, he will be penalised. Leon Fernie's away. Emo Guy's unlapped himself. Ant's going to be charging here. Out the final corner comes Ant. Leon Fernie off the limiter. Now. And Ant's going to get through here. Ant's going to do him. Shoemaker's in. Ant round the outside. The problem is he's got a longer turn one than Leon Fernie, but I argue Leon Fernie's got a tighter turn one. Ant is through on Leon Fernie. Yes, he is. Ant moves up to P5 in this race. Dan's back on the podium, but is he? Because Shoemaker's in the pitch. Ginger Bush has lapped Checo Bress and KLF. KLF just got past Checo Bress for 13th and 14th place. Here comes Ginger Bush then, out the final corner. He's going to retake the lead of this race with 18 minutes left on the clock. Ginger Bush leads at the moment. Sharkbait will be second place as well.
Dan's coming into the last final two corners when the Shoemaker drop.
Yeah.
I think Dan's going to have Shoemaker.
Easily. Yeah. Easily. Anti's 28. Shoemaker's just been dropped.
Though,
he's not going to be off the limiter, so it's how far Dan pulls ahead while he's on the limiter here. It was 14 seconds.
Turn one.
Dan's giving Danlick a flash of the lights here. Danlick's a lap down on Unorthodox, you've got to figure, or he's being lapped by Unorthodox. Dan's through 1 and 2. Shoemaker not yet into turn 1 himself here, as Dan's really giving Danlick the flash of the lights here. And Danlick goes very wide to let Unorthodox through. Dan lets Dan through, and Dan can motor on his way.
Do you think Emo Guy's going to catch up to Danlick by the end of this race?
Emo Guy's at turn 3. Danlick's at turn 5. Yes, I do. 12 seconds is the gap, and Danlick's carrying damage. What I'm interested in is Tech Leader's 4.5 now off the back of Future Revenge, and Jay's 21 off the back of Tech Leader. It's getting interesting. It's getting spicy. Good evening to Peaceful Stepdad in the chat. For me, it's getting interesting. Baraba's right on the back of Leon Fernie here. This is for P6 and 7. So if these two come together, remember, if Tech Leader gets one more place, he will lead the championship by 1 point next week. At the minute, they will be tied in the championship standings going into the Hungaroring. So you couldn't really ask for a better script at the moment.
No, Hungaroring is going to be very interesting with how tight it is, because you can just see all the... just think of all the collisions that happen on F1.
Yeah, exactly. The race isn't over. There's 60 minutes left. It's not over till the fat lady sings, as they say. Kelly's been re-overtaken by Checo Bress. That gap's 0.3 of a second as Barbara and Leon Fernie now go through.
Well, here's important information for us to race. We're coming up to 15 minutes left to go, and we'll see how many laps they've done.
Yeah, exactly. Good point, actually, PN. There's the point that PN makes, Joe, is we're now finishing the race within the next minute, and Ginger Bush is on lap 19, will possibly get onto lap 20 before the 15 minutes are up. So, PN, as you point out there, tomorrow night and Thursday night, we could be expecting 2 20-lap races.
Yeah, by the look of things. Or 21 with formation.
So Baraba now really getting on the back of Leon Fernie. Jay's actually lost time, Joe.
Straight line the oh, Checker, that's unsafe.
Jay's actually lost time to Future Revenge, to Tech Leader, sorry, who's on the back of Future Revenge now. So now's Jay's chance to really gain on Tech Leader here.
Future Revenge just got to make sure he doesn't make any mistakes. Otherwise, if there's any more... Because the Bentley, I don't know if you've noticed as well, Matt. Obviously, I know you drive the Bentley yourself, and you said you were struggling out. And Future Revenge proves my point.
He's in the wall. Yeah, so that's going to help Tech Leader get through quite easily. But what it's also going to do is, with that damage to Future Revenge, is that going to give Jay the extra position? Baraba's got past Leon Fernie. That is job done. He's got past him by quite a bit. It looks like 3 seconds, so as Leon Fernie had a moment. But for Future Revenge here, what's the damage on the front of his car? Let's have a look. Doesn't look to be a lot. So was it more on the front side? Bad. No, it doesn't, does it? Ah, the bonnet does look a bit dented on the front.
Another battle, Danlick. Emo's right on Danlick.
So Danlick struggling with damage. He's gone deep at turn 1.
Right.
Emo guy up the inside. Oh, Danlick struggling with that. So where's Kelly now? Kelly's about half a lap behind Danlick. In 14 minutes, that could be a tough one.
Coming up to lap him.
Yeah, that could be a tough one for Kelly. Jay, though, to Future Revenge, 18 seconds. He's pulled 5 seconds out in the last sector.
Did Jay have another mistake there?
He went deep at the corkscrew. He went deep.
Yeah. I just seen him coming back onto the track on
Right.
Sharkbait and Kelly.
PN, you first. Can Jay get future revenge?
Yes.
Joe?
Yeah, I think so.
Right, watch the gap as they come across the line. Future Revenge 8 seconds behind Tech Leader. Tech Leader 7 seconds to Leon Fernie. Jay to Future Revenge 17 seconds then. So he took another second out of him in the final sector. So we'll keep our eyes on what will happen here. Future Revenge clearly struggling in the car. Closest fight on track. Leon Fernie to Baraba at the moment. Ginger Bush since taking the lead of this race, by the way. Lovely control.
I think he's got the cleanest car out there.
We have to tip our hat to Dan tonight. Did a good job at the start. Sharkbait was involved in an incident with Dan, but Dan, I've got to tip my hat to him in the ret here tonight. Struggling in practice, we've heard, but has kept Shoemaker at over 10 seconds for the entirety of this race.
Yeah, I give Dan props for driving that ret here.
You had to go last night, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, he tried making a deal with me last night to race it for the last 2 races of the season. You lot gave it the okay, and then I tried it, and I'm like, yeah, nah, I'm not doing that. So I give Dan massive props for the way he's driving it tonight.
He's keeping Shoemaker at 10 seconds. 2 gaps to really keep our eyes on in terms of the championship then is Leon Fernie to Tech Lead. That is 4.9 seconds. And Jace took another 2 seconds out of Future Revenge. He's got to go a little more. If I know 2 seconds a lap is fine, but he needs to really get a move on, doesn't he? Because if Tech Leader gets Leon, well, what does the points mean at the minute? You're probably asking. Tech Leader will lead this championship by 1 point going into next week because he'll outscore Jay by 2. If Jay gets Future Revenge, they'll be tied on points. So it is all to play for at the moment. Emo Guy, going into this night, by the way, was only 19 off the back of the Championship League. So imagine if Emo Guy didn't get caught up in that first lap drama, he could have really been in this championship battle next week.
Oh! Emo Guy had a snap under the brakes and just came across the front of Shoemaker's nose.
Tech Leader's caught Leon.
He has caught Leon. He is right on the back of Leon. Does he fancy being 2 points in front then next week? Well, as they come through the corkscrew for the 22nd time, just under 11 and a half minutes remaining in this race. Leon Fernie now has Tech Leader right on the back of him. Jay to Future Revenge. We can't see at the moment. Jay's just coming up to that sector time. It is 13 seconds. So at the minute, it's swinging the way of Tech Leader. 2 points maybe the gap. We're currently on board with Leon Fernie as they start their 22nd lap now.
Leon Fernie's become a lot better driver this season. He's become one of the harder guys to get past.
He has.
So it's just...
He's been brilliant to watch this year. Where was it? Zandvoort, he got the second place to Dan, and it was fantastic to watch him race around there because he did really well.
I think so. Yeah, Zandvoort.
And if I remember right as well, he defended most of the back half of that race against Tech Leader.
Yeah, he did. But
Zandvoort, a lot harder to overtake though, isn't it? Than he did make a mistake, hit the wall, middle sector. But this track, a lot harder, a lot easier to overtake than the other one. Here goes Tech Leader. He's looking up the inside. That's Danlick who's off and had another mistake. So that may help KLF.
Tech Leader backs out of it.
And Tech Leader backs out of that one then. Danlick is back going. Where is Kelly? Kelly's not a million miles away from Tech Leader now. Jay to Future Revenge, 12 seconds. But it's Tech Leader who started to put pressure on that of Leon Fernie.
Leon Fernie didn't really seem phased though.
But again, he's had him becoming that better driver where he's not being phased and troubled by these battles.
Yeah, I don't think... Obviously, just a tip to these guys, you can never, ever get nervous in situations like that. Because a split second of nervousness could ruin it, and then you could just have a catastrophic crash and ruin your race and whoever you're defending from.
Yeah,
you
well
can never
said.
get nervous in situations.
Just looking at another gap, guys. Ant's gained a second over Shoemaker. So Ant's charging on Shoemaker here for a top 4 possibly. So we'll keep our eyes on that gap. 9.5 minutes left. Catching's one thing, passing is another. As the late great Murray Walker said, Tony Doe gets a good run and he's now side by side with Leon Fernie. Leon Fernie manages once again to cut the nose off of Tech Leader and get that one stopped. What was you saying about Baraba?
Baraba is struggling. He went across the gravel.
Yeah, he's actually just in front of these two there. The camera angle proved that Baraba's just in front. Tech Leader gets the undercut on Leon Fernie. Does his Ferrari? Is his Ferrari able to get in front now? Believe it is going into the right-hander uphill. Tech Leader is ahead of Leon Fernie. It's a 2-point swing in the championship. Tech Leader will lead by 2 at the moment. And Jay, 9.2 off the back of Future Revenge. But with Baraba making mistakes, he had a bounce over the sausage curb there. Not over the sausage curb, just over the normal curb there at the corkscrew. This could be a 3-point swing all of a sudden and in the favour of Tech Leader.
Isn't Baraba struggling on the brakes, I think?
Leon
Fernie's wide off into the gravel.
Very wide there.
I'm just watching Baraba on the brakes, and it's like he doesn't trust it. He's feathering the brakes.
There's one thing I've just noticed there, by the way, gents. Ginger Bush has lapped Jay.
Oh, so Jay's now locked. Whatever happened.
So at the moment, Jay can't get past Future Revenge. Ginger Bush isn't a million miles away. Will potentially get past Future Revenge as well.
Yeah,
but so far,
he's just got past
Dan.
Right, so that's great move. Yeah.
No,
he's gone wide. Yeah, he's gone wide. Baraba's back through. What about then Leon Fernie? Cameraman failed to pick them up as we change. Leon Fernie just too far back to get that position back. So Tech Leader at the moment still isn't there.
If Baraba keeps it clean enough now and starts fighting with Tech Leader, Leon Fernie could be in a chance to get past them both.
Yeah. He could indeed. Ant's got the gap down 6.5 seconds to Shoemaker. So Ant is charging on Shoemaker here.
Wow, whoa, Tech Leader! What a move!
Missed that. Oh, he span! Baraba's off. I missed that. You'll have to talk me through what happened there. But Baraba's span. Leon Fernie's got through. Baraba's hit Leon Fernie off. Leon Fernie keeps it going. Tech Leader, will he get back ahead of Leon Fernie? Yes, he does around the outside. Tell me what happened, Joe.
So, what was it? Baraba got a bad run coming out of the tight left-hander up towards the corkscrew. So Tech Leader went to the inside. You didn't see him for a minute, and then he just came out of nowhere hard on the brakes, but a lot later than Baraba. Got in front of him into the corkscrew, but must have just took a bit too much of the sausage curb, lifted off, and then just dropped it down and spun whilst landing, and Baraba just seemed to go straight on.
Yeah. Ant then 6.5 behind Shoemakers. We'll keep our eyes on that gap as well. Tech Leader now got to get back ahead of Baraba. That'll put him 3 points clear of Jay, who Jay is still behind Ginger Bush, and Ginger Bush still has it yet, that Future Revenge. So at the minute, this is really hurting Jay's championship chances of catching Future Revenge and getting that extra point.
Ginger Bush is catching him though.
Running out of time though, isn't he?
Tech Leader's back on.
I think Ginger Bush is going to have him in 2 laps. He's going to lap Future Revenge in 2 laps.
Well, let's see what Future Revenge does when the blue flags start to fly. Watching Tech Leader back on the rear wing of Baraba, looking up towards the corkscrew once again. He now tucks back behind Baraba. Does Baraba get it stopped into the corkscrew this time? He does. Dips down the hill. They're all through this time. No mistakes from anybody around there. Baraba now having to defend from Tech Leader. Huge for the championship, this fight. As Tech Leader could have a 3-point gap over himself. And that. 3.2 points, sorry. Over Leon Fernie.
With a snap.
Big slide through there. Jay's only 5 seconds behind Future Revenge at the minute. So let's just jump back to Future Revenge. Where's Ginger Bush? Still not close enough at the moment to be let through. As Tech Leader pulls out now on Baraba. Tech Leader. Job done into turn 1. Baraba breaks a lot earlier than Tech. Doesn't want any part of that. And Tech Leader up another place. The gap now and the points go like this. If the result stays the way it is, Tech Leader will outscore Jay by 3 points, meaning he'll be 2 points clear in the championship come the end of tonight. But for Future Revenge, there he is. Ginger Bush still not close enough. Jay's only 4.3 off the back. Ant, bearing in mind as well, 4.1 off the back of Shoemaker. He'll be able to see Shoemaker now. And Ant could be on the podium by the end of this night.
Oh, sorry, Pian.
It'll be another Ferrari podium. No, he won't be on the podium. Ant is...
Yeah, sorry, he won't be on the podium. Yep, Dan will still be on the podium.
Dan's still third in the Retia.
He's 13 seconds up the road. He's well in front. Kelly's gaining on Danlick here, so that looks like a good fight at the moment. We're going to go back to Baraba and Leon Fernie. Leon Fernie on the back of Baraba now. Jay's within 3 seconds of Future Revenge, but has he still got Ginger Bush in between them? Yeah, he has.
I think Baraba's on the wrong pad set. He seems to not have any pads. He might be on step 4. The qualifying.
Do you think his brakes have gone?
I think he's braking very early just to get the car to stop. Compared to
Interesting then. So Leon Fernie looking up the
Blue flags are
inside
waving
at
for future
1.
revenge.
Right, so Future Revenge now gets the blue flag warning. Leon Fernie just pushes Barber off the track a little bit there. Good hard racing. Leon Fernie's through. So now blue flag's 5 for Future Revenge. Jay is right on the back of Ginger Bush. There he is. You see him in the background there. 3.4 the gap as they come across the line. Ant 3.1 behind Shoemaker. So Ant is charging on Shoemaker. Jay's now 2.8 to Future Revenge.
Ginger Bush made a mistake.
Yeah, he did. So that's going to let Future Revenge off here. Oh, my days. You would not like to be in this one.
Maybe if Ginger Bush was a nice soul, he'd let Jay through to fight Future Revenge.
Is he letting it? He is. He's letting it. Yeah, I think he's just heard. Pian, it's as if you're psychic, because I think he's heard you there. He's let Jay go.
So Jay can fight Future Revenge.
3.2 is the gap, though.
Because
2 laps left.
Ginger Bush has about 15 second lap lead over Shark Lane.
Yeah.
Now 11. So he has made a mistake somewhere. I've just seen his car.
Right. Interesting. Ant getting closer to the back of Shoemaker. Then Kelly's got Danlick past, so Kelly moves up another place. But Shoemaker started to fall into the clutches of Ant. These two are well in front of Danlick at the moment. Jay's now 2.5 off the back of Future Revenge. This will make the championship gap 1 point if Jay gets past here. What a champion. We've not had as close a championship, Joe, than Season 4 Pro-Am, where Rabbit Joe and Kelly went down to a battle of second places, where Rabbit Joe won the championship.
I think I remember that one.
Season 4. We haven't had as close a championship fight as that one since then. Right. Jay.
Just out of curiosity. Oh, sorry.
Go on.
Just out of curiosity, if it went back down to that again, who has the most second places?
Well, at the minute, it would go to race wins. That goes the way of Jay. So Jay would win on race wins. But if it went second places, Jay's got 1. Tech Leader has 2.
So they're
But
just ebbing and flowing in the
It
stats.
won't go down to race to second places, because even if Tech Leader wins and Jay comes second next week, Jay's going to lose 2 points to Tech Leader, in which case he needs to be 2 points ahead of Tech Leader going into tonight. Well, he isn't going to be, even though Ant all over the back of Shoemaker now, coming in towards turn 5. Let's just pop down to Jay, who's right
Jay
on the
is
back
right
of
on
Future
the back of
Revenge.
Future Revenge.
So 2 battles happening here.
I think Ginger Bush is struggling.
Oh, no way. Not late on in the race like this. He's had a great race. Jay to the
on the
outside of
final
turn 1. He starts the final lap, does Ginger Bush. Jay's got this lap and 1 more to get past Future Revenge.
I think he's going to have him before the end of this lap.
Do you think Jay's maybe put it... Do you think Jay's pushed it a little bit on fuel, possibly?
You mean Ginger Bush?
Possibly.
Ginger Bush, sorry.
Maybe he might be in a slower match now.
Jay on the back of Future Revenge. Ant has lost out a lot of time to Shoemaker. Tell you what, Jay's only 4 seconds behind Barber, and we know Barber's struggling. If Jay gets this job done, he's got an extra lap to do here because Ginger Bush is behind them. If Jay can get past quickly, could he be on the back of Barber, meaning the scores will be tied? He's on the inside. Great run up to the corkscrew. He's got to think about outbreaking Future Revenge. He taps Future Revenge. They're both off.
I think Future Revenge lost the rear end.
Jay stays behind Future Revenge. Future Revenge lets him go.
Future Revenge lets him.
Oh, he was in the middle of the road and Ginger Bush collected him.
Oh,
So-
the Future Revenge has got bad damage.
Right, Jay up another place. He's possibly now not going to catch Barber, but it's not about Jay and Barber at the moment. It's about Ginger Bush, who hasn't won since the opening race of the season. Well, he's going to be the second double winner this year. It's going to be Ginger Bush to take the win. Well done to the man who supports Bolton Wanderers. I don't know if he lives in Bolton, but we'll see. Sharkbait is going to come home for P2. Great result for Sharkbait. And then Dan what another stellar drive for Unorthodox in this one. In the Retia, second podium for Unorthodox, P3. Good drive.
He's gone off somewhere.
Yeah, he has, because Shoemaker's really close to him, yeah.
Corkscrew again?
Oh, Kelly's waited for him, so Kelly's going to wait for Dan. It's a father-son photo finish. Shoemaker now then, P4. Good result for Shoemaker, his best one of the season. Ant, great to see Ant back, P5. Big gap back then to Tech Leader, who's going to take this championship lead here.
Who's 83 and 21?
83 is Checo Bress and 21 is Leon Fernie.
Okay, so Leon
Other
Fernie's
drivers
just
that
left.
have finished at the moment is Emo Guys finished P11. As here comes Tech Leader.
Revenge, P10.
To the line, P6 for Tech Leader. Then Leon Fernie's going to round the final corner. He's going to come home for P7. Good race for Leon Fernie. Baraba is then going to be P8. What could have been maybe in this one. And Jay is going to be P9. Future Revenge, P10, as we know. P11 was Emo Guy. P12 was Kelly. P13 was Danlick.
14 was Checo.
P14 was Checo Bress. Where is KLF on there? So P13 for Kelly. So that then is the Amateur League done. The next time we'll see them will be the final race of the season. If Dan wants to come in, PN, can you get Ginger Bush in for a quick chat as well? I don't know what English Sharkbait speaks, so we'll leave Sharkbait tonight. But we know the Constructors has been won already by the Flying Potatoes. They pull away even further, 246 points to 95 points. Danlick has been scoring on his own after we lost NTS. But the championship lead goes the way of Tech Leader, and it is a 2-point swing in the favour of Tech Leader then. And what a championship this is. Emo Guy, 23 points behind, is still mathematically up for that championship, but needs a lot of drive. It needs Tech Leader and Jay pretty much to not turn up. So that will be a shame. Ant goes up into P4 ahead of Future Revenge, with Ginger Bush moving into 6th. Baraba is 7th with Sharkbait in 8th. Danlick is 9th, Ben Bath 10th, John Andrews 11th, KLF in 12th with Leon Fernie 14th. At 13th, Dan moves into 14th ahead of Shoemaker, so Dan climbing his way up the championship. Will he finish in the Retia? Shoemaker P15 with O P16. Checo Bress tied with O now. Hitman 18th, CV 19th, and Lee Hendy in P20. We are joined now, though, by Unorthodox, and I do believe Ginger Bush is in with us as well. So if Ginger Bush, just make sure in your settings that your voice can be heard in your normal settings. We, though, will speak with Dan first. And Dan, the start of that race was absolute chaos. You got a massive gap. Just talk us through your start of the race from your perspective.
Put my foot down and go. I wasn't really expecting to start on pole again, to be fair. I was expecting Checo to be on pole, but yeah, he didn't ready up, so I got quite lucky in that sense. But yeah, just went on to build the gap, as I always do in this thing, because it is absolutely horrendous. Yeah, just not too happy with the way some of these boys drive. It's just a little bit, you know, a bit messy, if I'm honest.
Is that involving the incident you had with Sharkbait?
It was 2 incidences, and it's just spatial awareness. You need to just be cautious of what cars people drive and how they drive. You know, most people know that this car's understeery and it doesn't like turning in, and I'm more than likely going to come back and turn into the corner, and it's just messy. Other than that, it was fairly decent. I mean, I honestly didn't think this car would actually be alright around here. It was semi-decent. It wasn't horrendous. But again, these boys are doing 23s, 24s, while I'm just sneaking into the 25. So it's just, you know, get me back in pro and get me in a decent car, because I'm missing the driving against like wheel-to-wheel racing and actually driving a decent car, because this is actually painful now.
You've got to be happy there with your night's work. Retia, like you say, you've struggled in it, but you've got to be happy with a podium in the car.
I mean, the car's got potential. It's just, it takes so much time and effort to set up, and and even tonight, like, that's the best I had. Like, the boys were doing high fuel runs while I was doing quality runs at the end, and I was still 1.8 off the pace. So it just shows how difficult this car is to drive. I mean, I'll take a podium. I mean, I actually vouch to anybody who can race this car and be quick in it, because it is that difficult. But hats off to Ginger Bush. He nailed it. He obviously saw me and Sharkbait having our problems, and I was looking forward for him to catch me up, and I was going to try and hold him up as much as I possibly could. But yeah, I feel like sharp bait kind of ruined that opportunity. But hey, hey, it is what it
You've
is.
got to be happy to see the Porsche win. Obviously, you've won 2 of your 6 championships in a Porsche. It's got to be nice to see a Porsche on the top step. But Dan, that is 130 podiums for you. Now you're 20 away from the 150 milestone mark. Hungaroring next week. First of all, though, Sunday, Porsche Cup, Silverstone. What's your goals for Sunday? What's your goals for next week in the final AM race?
Porsche Cup, stay on track. It's the only thing I can do. Fury's got the championship in the bag. I mean, I can pass Smoky Devil. Just round off the season in second, I think, is the only thing I can do. I've been second best to Fury all season. I haven't even won a race. So, yeah. He's got that car dialed, and I just can't seem to get it right. So, yeah, I mean, Silverstone's flat. It's relatively easy to drive, so we'll see what the Porsche Cup are like around there. Regarding Hungaroring, I'm literally just praying because it's a downforce circuit, it's a chassis circuit, and I'm in probably the most powerful car that can only go in a straight line. It feels, honestly, like a NASCAR. So, yeah, don't expect this again at the Hungaroring.
Well, Dan, congratulations on the P3 tonight. We'll let you get back to it. Well done on the podium.
Yeah, cheers, man, and big ups to Ginger Bush, and nice to see the Porsche back on top.
And if you want to see Dan, he'll be back in the commentary box tomorrow night, 8 PM UK time, with myself for the Pro-Am penultimate round of the season. He'll be back in the box as well on Thursday with PM Motorsport for Pro, and back in the car Sunday evening. But as we turn now to your second race, your second double race winner of the season, it's Porsche's 53rd race win. It's its 226th podium, and it's Ginger Bush's second win this season. Ginger Bush, you've had a few ups and downs this season, but that one feels sweet. Thank you very much. Yeah. All the time, obviously, yeah.
They're written down, mate.
It's the second win of the season for you in a season that you've had a few incidents, not necessarily your fault incidents, but incidents have put way to a driver that's got very quick pace in his Porsche. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you are only 34 points behind, which is a shame, obviously, going into the last one next week. But talk us through tonight. Your race was pretty good when you got past Dan and Sharpbait. Next week, Hungaroring to finish the season. What can you do around there? What you're looking to do around there? Ah, shame. Yeah, it is a shame. It is a shame. Now, I have noticed that you are a Bolton Wanderers fan. They are winning at the moment. There is going to be a bit of banter this season between me and you. That is a given. But they are winning at the moment at Wigan. Yeah, so I just thought I'd let you. I just thought I'd let you know that Bolton are winning. So it's not only a win for Bolton at the moment, but it's also a win for yourself. Ginger Bush, congratulations. Joe, PN, final thoughts from yourself, including driver of the day, please.
I think driver of the day for me has got to go the way of Ginger Bush. Yeah, the race win may have been gifted to him a little bit, but after that it was still a stellar drive just to keep it there and on track. And final thoughts, I think AM could have done the formation up a bit better, but other than that, there was great battles up and down, despite the few taps.
PM?
Chaotic, really. Kind of dreading tomorrow night now, especially with Squid.
Driver of the day?
Ginger Bush.
Yeah.
Easily did Ginger Bush. Survived. Had pretty much the cleanest car out there, to be honest with you. Least damage.
I'm going to give Ginger Bush the driver of the day as well. So the commentators give the driver of the day to Ginger Bush. Congratulations to him. From that is all we have time for. One race left in AM, and it's going down to the wire. 2 points separate the top two of Tech Leader and Jay. Title game on between them two. But there's still a championship to be decided tomorrow night. Obviously, the Pro-Am boys for their penultimate rounds of the season. Louis Allen's gap's been cut to 8 points. And Smokey Devil was in the fight, but he's got a few bands to serve this. Myself, I've just dropped my pad. As myself and Dan Davis will be live tomorrow night for all the action on that one, 8 PM UK time. Pro on Thursday, Rip has already won that championship, but a battle in the constructors still happening at the moment. Dan and Pian will be live for that one on Thursday night, 8 PM. And don't forget to join myself and PM Motorsport for Porsche Cup on Thursday night, where Fury can take the championship there. All the penultimate rounds of the season as we head into the final week next week. That's been Simplay Motorsport. Thanks all for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.